Mortgage rates have been on a wild ride so far in 2023. We started the year about 6.5%, came down under 6%, and now we're right back above 6.5%. And it's only been 45 days. That can make it super tough to try to figure out how to take advantage of a crazy market like this. But I'm here to help you. I'm going to share some great advice with you today in this video, so check it out. Happy Wednesday, everybody. It's Brian Simmons here with eXp Realty in Southern Oregon. It's February 15th, and I hope you all had a wonderful Valentine's Day yesterday. If you could do me a quick favor and just hit that like button, click the subscribe icon, and share this video with anybody you know looking to buy or sell real estate in Southern Oregon, I'd really appreciate that. Now, before we jump into all the nerdy stuff in the data about what's going on with mortgage rates, I want to talk to you about what's actually happening in the market today. So let's take a look at Jackson and Josephine counties, and we're talking about single-family residential homes. As of this morning, we had 794 active single-family residential homes on the market between the two counties, which is the exact same number as we had last week. We had 85 new listings hit the market, which is the exact same number as we had last week. 80 price changes, which is up a little bit. 29 came back on the market, 93 went pending, which is a nice solid number, 47 closed, which is up a little bit, and 28 were either expired, withdrawn, or canceled. And that brings us all to about 17 weeks worth of inventory if we were to look at just a snapshot of the 1 week, which is also down a little bit. So you can see our numbers are kind of all over the place. And the best indicator of what's happening in the market right now is new pending transactions, which went down slightly after increasing for 7 weeks in a row. And I think there's a pretty good reason for why that happened. So let me explain. On February 2nd, which is 2 weeks ago, mortgage rates finally, for the first time in a while, dropped below 6%. In the week following that, mortgage rates climbed to about 6.4%. And then in the week following that, which was last week, rates climbed to about 6.6%. So if you're ever wanting more clear evidence of how quickly rising mortgage rates can slow down buying activity, this is it. Mortgage rates jumped from around 5.99 to around 6.4, and the week immediately following that, there were less new pending transactions. That's not really a surprise. What is a surprise, though, is that the rates jumped like they did. Nobody really saw that coming. I don't know anybody that did. And it sounds like the reason that did happen is a little suspect. So let me explain. Without getting into the weeds too much on all the economic stuff, it's important to know that the goal of the Fed is to have inflation at around 2% on an annual basis, okay? And a couple weeks ago, the January jobs report came out, and it shocked everyone, okay? It reported over 500,000 new jobs were added to the economy. And the reason that's significant is because adding jobs to the economy means that there's more money to spend, which means more money is being spent, and that is what increases inflation, okay? In very simplified form. And that's the opposite of what the Fed wants, right? So they want it to come down, and adding more money into the economy brings it up. The real problem is that nobody saw that jobs report number coming because it's very inconsistent with all the other projections and job reports that have come out. Okay, there have been several others that came out that were closer to the 100,000 range in new jobs added, and even as low as 44,000. Okay, so think about it. I mean, from your perspective, what have you been hearing about? I know for me, all I've been hearing about is how the tech sector is laying off thousands of people, and how there's different real estate brokerages like Compass that are laying off thousands of people, and all this sort of stuff's happening. And so it's layoffs, and then you see this job report come out saying that over 500,000 new jobs were added in January. It doesn't really make sense. So that question brings up some speculation that maybe somebody at the Bureau of Labor Statistics is cooking the books a little bit to help out their buddy at the Fed. Doesn't seem too crazy to me. In fact, I'll share a quick excerpt from an article on Forbes that I think addresses this speculation really nicely. And that article says, as reported by various reliable sources with deep research capabilities, most or all of the 517,000+ jobs gained was not due to new job creation, but to benchmark revisions, seasonal adjustments, and population controls, all keywords for what we can only describe as statistical magic. So that's a pretty reliable source, Forbes, and clearly they're questioning the accuracy of that jobs report. But the reality is that whether that's accurate or they cooked the books or they didn't or whatever, the reality is that the damage is done and the markets reacted how they did. So the question becomes, what does that mean for you as a buyer or a seller. For a seller, it's very, very simple. Nothing really changes. For a buyer, though, in my opinion, it just means that you don't really necessarily need to jump on the first place you see right now because you're so afraid of competition going up. That's what we were thinking. We thought competition was going to be going up rapidly, but that increase in rates is going to slow that down quite a bit. So I wouldn't feel like as a buyer that you have to jump on the first place you see. I would feel like you need to jump on the right place. If you find a place that is perfect for you, it's your dream home, jump on it, okay? Because now, how we've talked about in all these other videos, that there will be an opportunity to refinance. Now, that opportunity becomes even more clear and even more likely. If you were to lock in a rate at 6.5%, the likelihood that you're going to get into a 5.5% rate within the next year is quite strong, in my opinion, okay? And that's what the most consistent projections are, with the best ones, like the most credible ones that I've seen, all are saying that we believe rates will be in the 5 to 5.5 range before the end of the year, and possibly back into the high 4s next year. So there will be an opportunity to refinance. I'm highly, highly confident of that within the next year or so for a buyer. So I hope that information was all helpful for you. Again, if you are looking to do some house hunting or you're curious what your home's worth, check out my website, buyingsouthernoregon.com. Please don't forget, click the like button, hit the subscribe icon, share this video with anybody you know looking to buy or sell real estate in Southern Oregon. Sorry for my voice, a little bit hoarse this week, but we'll do better for you next week. Have a good one.